Tom, you make the decision earlier this month to retire, and so I guess why now? Why the timing of now?
Well, obviously I'd been thinking about this for a few years. I've been coaching here at Laramie High School for 34 years, 32 of those as head coach. And you can't do it forever, and I've always known that, and my wife and I have just made some plans, some transition plans, and actually they worked out, and we were both able to retire on the same day and move forward with our life. And there brings some sadness to that, definitely. I'm going to miss this, but also very excited about what's to come in the future and things too.
When you started thinking about it, what was going through your mind? What was that thought process like?
Well, thinking about it has been a long process, really, over the last 3 or 4 years. Just thinking about what it would take. Can we afford to do this? Can I really step away from this and be happy? And the thought process it's just been long. It wasn't a sudden thing. We had to have some things work out for us, financially mostly, for us to be able to make this. But so the thought process wasn't an overnight thing. It's been a long one.
Reflect on 32 years as the head coach here. You mentioned 34 coaching, but 32 as a head coach. What has that meant to you?
Well, it's meant the world to me. When I got this job, and I get emotional talking about it, obviously, but when I got this job, I was the happiest guy on earth because it was Laramie Swimming, and I was taking over 2 years after the legend of Lane Kapishka, and Laramie Swimming was just so revered, and I was so happy to get this job, and I just wanted to live up to what this job was. And so I worked really hard over these 32 years as head coach to not only maintain that, but hopefully try and make it better. And that's what I feel. I've been able to work with so many great swimmers, dozens and dozens of great coaches, administrators, parents, everything. It's meant the world to me. It's been a joy.
So you leave some big shoes to fill because you go out winning the last 10 state championships, 5 girls, 5 boys. That's a way to go out with a bang, I guess, right?
Yeah, people have said, man, you picked the time to go out on top. And 10 state championships in a row, and the Hall of Fame this spring with Niska and all that kind of made the timing seem right as well. Leaving the program in good shape, and the program is in good shape. We should be favored again in girls and boys. No pressure for the new coach, but because I wouldn't say that if I was still the coach. People give me a hard time about that. But no, the program's in good shape from the bottom all the way to the top. With the Laramie Swim Club, with what Scott Cronk has done, and then my coaching staff, hopefully that will remain intact for the most part when I move forward. A new replacement hasn't been named yet, but things are in good shape, and they have this beautiful pool that's behind me to work out of, and I'm very proud that this pool is here as well. I think that's probably been my greatest accomplishment in Laramie.
I was going to say, you were kind of the architect behind this, and it's become one of the kind of the beacons in the Rocky Mountain region. This is your baby, basically.
Yeah, this is my baby. I spent a long time and lots of hours, and every weekend in the grocery store talking to people about it and showing them, trying to get them to vote for it and all that stuff. And I worked really hard to get this pool built, and I'm very, very proud of it. And yes, it's a fantastic pool. And people love coming here, and we run a quality meet with professionals, and it's just a pleasure for people to come here and swim.
Obviously the state championships stand out, but is it more the relationships with the kids that you'll kind of miss the most?
Oh yeah, the kids and the coaches probably the most. When I hit send on the retirement letter, within 5 minutes my phone blew up with literally hundreds of former swimmers, coaches, parents. It just meant a lot to me, and I will miss that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to miss our talks because you and I talk quite often, and not always on the record like this is, and I'm trying not to get you too emotional in this interview, but so what is your advice to whomever they choose to take over? What would you say to that person to give them a good starting point here with this facility and the program and the shape it's in?
I would say please continue to recruit kids out of the hallway. Get kids interested in the sport. Love the kids that aren't the best on the team. Take care of everyone and know that everyone has a place in Laramie swimming, no matter what your ability is. That's the main thing. And then I would love it if the new coach would carry on at least a few of the traditions that I carried on from Lane Kapishka. Like when I first started, I had no idea that I was going to tell my kids that they can't wear a cap throughout the entire swim season. And I did it because Lane Kapishka did it. I'm not going to mess with that. So I did it, and you know what? It became something that was a calling card of Laramie and a kind of something that we did to make it special. And so things like that, I would hope that the new coach would carry on some of these traditions.
What's your advice, though, to fans and parents, because they're going to have something different to get used to?
Well, they'll get used to whoever the new coach is, and I'm sure they're going to hire a fine coach here. This facility is an attractive one for a coaching candidate, any candidate, and the program that's set up the way it is. They really just have to come in and keep the wheels rolling in the same direction, I think. And everybody's going to put their new spin on what they do. I wouldn't expect a new coach to do exactly how I do it at all, but just come in and keep the wheels rolling and keep recruiting kids, keep the numbers high, and keep it fun, and I think they'll be successful.
Well, hey, best luck in retirement. Have fun.
Thank you, David. It's been a pleasure.